Mia, I want you to look around you at modern society. What is the one thing that everyone wants right now? They want instant internet, instant food delivery, instant money, instant fame, and instant success. We live in a world that is completely obsessed with speed. If a website takes more than 3 seconds to load, we get angry. If our food takes more than 20 minutes to arrive, we complain. We are trained to think that fast equals smart and slow equals stupid.
Oh, absolutely, Simon. I am guilty of this too. If I send a text message and the person doesn't reply in 2 minutes, my brain starts to panic. I think, why are they ignoring me? What did I do wrong? We have become a society of hyperactive children who cannot sit still for 5 seconds. We think that if we're not moving, running, and shouting all the time, we're falling behind. We're told that the early bird catches the worm, so everyone is trying to wake up earlier, run faster, and jump higher without ever stopping to ask where they are actually running.
Exactly. We are running a race toward a cliff. But here's the secret that the most successful, most powerful, and smartest people in history know. Speed is often an illusion. In fact, rushing is the easiest way to make a catastrophic mistake. The real masters of the world, the billionaires, the great scientists, the brilliant strategists, they don't rush. They wait. They take their time. They analyze, they observe, and they stay perfectly silent while everyone else is screaming for attention. Today, we are breaking down the hidden science of delay. Our topic is why smart people wait, the secret power of strategic patience.
Welcome back to the Mia and Simon podcast. I am Mia, and he is Simon, the man who took 3 hours to choose his shirt today because he believes in strategic waiting. If you are tired of making rushed decisions that you regret later, if you are tired of the anxiety of modern life, and if you want to understand how the world's sharpest minds actually think, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we have a massive, deep dive, 8-part roadmap for you. We're going to show you why waiting is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate sign of intellectual strength.
But before we slow down the clock and teach you how to master time, we need your help. If you're ready to stop rushing and start thinking like a true strategist, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel right now. We are building a massive global community of deep thinkers who refuse to be manipulated by the instant culture. When you subscribe, you're joining a family that values depth, wisdom, and long-term victory. It's the best way to support the show and ensure you get our intellectual deep dives every single week. By clicking that button, you are declaring that your days of mindless rushing are officially over.
Join the squad. We want your brilliant mind inside our circle. And hey, if you have a friend who's always making impulsive decisions, the one who buys things they can't afford, switches jobs every 2 months, or gets into arguments on social media in 5 seconds flat, hit that share button and send this episode to them. Let's save them from the instant trap. It is time for all of us to understand that patience is not just a virtue, it is a competitive advantage.
Let's get to work. We are going to show you how to turn waiting into your ultimate weapon. We're moving away from the panic of the present moment and stepping into the calm of long-term planning. Are you ready to discover why the smartest person in the room is always the one who waits the longest? Let's go. The Impulse Guard. Mia, let's talk about the science of regret. Think about the last time you made a terrible decision. Maybe you bought an expensive dress you never wore, or maybe you sent an angry text message to a friend at midnight. Why did you do it? You did it because of emotion. When your emotions are high, your intelligence is low. The human brain has a built-in alarm system called the amygdala. When it gets excited, it completely shuts down your logical thinking center. It wants you to act now.
Oh, I call that the midnight monster. At 11 p.m., I see an ad for a fancy coffee machine online, and my brain says, Mia, buy it. If you don't buy it tonight, your life will be ruined. It feels like a matter of life and death. But then I wake up the next morning, look at my bank account, and think, what was I thinking? I don't even drink that much coffee. The morning light changes everything. The excitement disappears, and I am left with a piece of plastic I don't need and less money in my pocket.
Exactly. And that is the difference between average thinkers and top-tier strategists. Smart people understand that emotion is like a temporary storm. They don't build a house during a hurricane, and they don't make a decision during an emotional storm. They use a tool called the impulse guard, or what many call the 24-hour rule. When they feel a powerful urge to buy something, sign a contract, or reply to an insult, they put it on a 24-hour hold. They literally force themselves to sleep on it.
This rule is a lifesaver. By waiting 24 hours, you are allowing your emotional brain to cool down and your logical brain to wake up. It's like letting the dirt settle in a glass of water. When you shake the glass, the water is cloudy and you can't see anything. But if you let it sit on the table for a few hours, the dirt falls to the bottom and the water becomes crystal clear. Waiting gives you clarity. It changes your perspective from, I need this right now, to, is this actually good for my future?
It is the ultimate shield against manipulation. Advertisers and sales companies hate the 24-hour rule because their entire business model relies on your impulsivity. They create fake urgency with countdown timers and limited offers to force you to jump before you think. But when you look at a salesman and say, I will give you my answer tomorrow, you instantly take all the power back into your hands. You become the master of the situation, not the victim.
It makes you look incredibly professional, too. And for our amazing listeners, if you are ready to build your own impulse card and stop wasting your energy on short-term traps, hit that like button and subscribe right now. Tell us in the comments, what was the last impulsive thing you bought that you completely regretted later? Let's be honest with each other. When you subscribe, you are telling yourself that you are in control of your choices.
Join the squad. Don't let the instant culture control your mind. Share this video with a friend who always speaks before they think. Help them build their own guard.
I'm putting my online shopping cart on a 24-hour lockdown right now. But Simon, what about big life decisions? What about careers or business investments? Surely waiting too long there means you lose the opportunity.
Not if you know how to wait. Predicting the next move. Mia, have you ever watched a beginner play chess? The moment they see an open space, they move their piece into it. They think, oh look, a free spot, let me take it. They are fast, aggressive, and completely blind. A grandmaster, on the other hand, will sit quietly for 10, 20, or even 30 minutes without touching a single piece. Why are they waiting? They aren't frozen. They're running simulations in their head. They're thinking, if I move here, what will my opponent do next? And what will happen after that?
Yes, the beginner plays for the current turn, but the master plays for the end of the game. I see this happen in careers all the time. A company offers someone a 10% salary increase, and they instantly jump ship and take the job without thinking. They don't look at the company culture, they don't look at the industry trends, and they don't check if the company is financially stable. 2 months later, the company goes bankrupt and they're left without a job. They grabbed the instant bait because they didn't wait to look at the whole board.
Exactly. That is why top-tier thinkers use the chessboard method. When a new opportunity arrives, whether it's a job offer, a business partnership, or a major investment, they do not say yes immediately. They use strategic delay to calculate the second-order and third-order consequences. They don't just ask, what happens if I take this? They ask, what happens after that? Where does this road actually lead me in 5 years?
This is a total game changer. By forcing yourself to wait, you give yourself the time to do deep research. You can talk to experts, check the data, and find the hidden risks that the other side is trying to hide from you. Waiting allows you to see the trap before you step into it. It shifts you from a reactionary state of mind to a strategic state of mind. You stop playing checkers and you start playing chess with your life.
Beautifully put, Mia. When you rush, you are playing into someone else's strategy. But when you wait, you force the environment to adapt to you. And for our amazing listeners, if you're ready to stop playing checkers with your career and start using the chessboard method, hit that like button and subscribe right now. We're here every week to help you upgrade your strategic thinking. Drop a comment below. Have you ever rushed into a job or an investment that turned out to be a total trap? Let us know.
Join the squad. Let's build our strategic minds together. And if you have a friend who is always jumping from one get-rich-quick scheme to another, hit that share button and send this to them. Help them see the whole board before they lose all their pieces.
The chessboard method is about mastering the art of anticipation. But Mia, waiting isn't just about analyzing the external world. Sometimes the most powerful thing about waiting is what it does to our own value.
Oh, you mean supply and demand?
The value of absence. Mia, let's talk about basic economics. Why is a diamond worth millions of dollars, while a piece of glass is worth almost nothing? They both look shiny, and they both catch the light. The answer is simple: scarcity. There are billions of pieces of glass in the world, but diamonds are hard to find. In human psychology, the exact same rule applies. When you make yourself 100% available, when you reply to every text message in 2 seconds, accept every invitation immediately, and say yes to every demand, you become glass.
Wow, that hits hard, Simon. I used to think that being always available made me a nice, helpful person. If a client emailed me, I would drop everything and reply in 5 minutes. If a friend called, I would answer on the first ring. But I noticed a strange thing. People didn't respect my time more. They respected it less. They started treating my time like it was free. They realized they didn't need to plan around me because I was always just sitting there waiting for them. I made myself cheap by being too easy to get.
Exactly. You became a commodity. But smart people understand the power of the scarcity premium. They don't wait to reply just to play mind games or be rude. They wait because their time is actually guarded. When a company interviews a top executive, that executive doesn't say, "I can meet anytime you want." They say, "I am available next Thursday at 3 p.m. for 30 minutes. By forcing the other side to wait, they instantly increase their perceived value. They shift from being a job seeker to a prize.
It is a total shift in power dynamics. When you wait before you give an answer, it shows the world that you are a serious person who reflects deeply on their life. It tells the other side, my time is valuable, my brain is busy, and I do not make sloppy, rushed deals. This applies to business, to salary negotiations, and even to modern dating. The person who can sit comfortably in silence and wait for the right moment always holds the upper hand. They aren't desperate, and desperation is the biggest value killer in the world.
Beautifully said. True power lies in the ability to say, "Let me think about it and get back to you next week." That simple delay changes how people look at you. And for our amazing listeners, if you are ready to stop being glass and start being a diamond in your career and life, hit that like button and subscribe right now. We are here every week to help you build a high-value mind. Drop a comment below. Have you ever made yourself too available and regretted it?
Join the squad. Let's learn to value our time together. And if you have a friend who is always stressing out, replying to work emails at midnight on a Sunday, hit that share button and send it to them. Help them reclaim their scarcity premium.
The scarcity premium is about protecting your worth. But waiting isn't just about how others see you. It is also the ultimate test of your own emotional maturity.
Oh, absolutely.
The predictor of success. Mia, let's talk about one of the most famous psychological experiments in human history. It is called the marshmallow test. Back in the 1970s, scientists put a 4-year-old child in a room with a single marshmallow on a plate. The scientists told the child, "I have to leave the room for 15 minutes. If you do not eat this marshmallow while I am gone, I will give you a second one when I come back. 1 marshmallow now, or 2 marshmallows if you can wait."
Oh, that is pure torture for a 4-year-old. I can just imagine them staring at it, smelling it, and licking it. Some of them probably couldn't last more than 30 seconds before eating it. It is the ultimate struggle between the animal brain that wants pleasure immediately and the human brain that understands the future. But what did the scientists discover when those kids grew up?
This is the mind-blowing part, Mia. The scientists tracked these children for 40 years. They found that the kids who had the willpower to wait 15 minutes grew up to have higher exam scores, lower levels of stress, better physical health, and significantly more financial wealth. That one small test at 4 years old predicted their entire life trajectory. The ability to wait, to delay gratification, is the ultimate engine of human success.
It makes perfect sense, Simon. Every great thing in life requires you to wait and suffer a little bit in the beginning. If you want a beautiful body, you have to sweat at the gym today and wait months to see the results. If you want to build a successful business, you have to work for years without making any profit. The problem is that most people have a broken engine. They want the reward on day one. When they don't see instant results, they get frustrated, they give up, and they eat the marshmallow.
Exactly. They're trapped in short-term thinking. But smart people actively train their delayed gratification engine. When they get a paycheck, they don't immediately run to the mall to buy new clothes. They invest that money and wait for it to grow. When they have free time, they don't scroll through social media for an instant hit of dopamine. They read a book that will make them smarter next year. They understand that pain today equals power tomorrow.
It is about choosing what you want most over what you want now. And for our amazing listeners, if you are ready to upgrade your mind and turn your delayed gratification engine on, hit that like button and subscribe right now. We are building a community of long-term winners. Tell us in the comments, what is one big goal you are working on right now that requires you to be patient every single day? Let's inspire each other.
Join the squad. Don't be a one marshmallow thinker. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that the best things in life take time to build.
I am definitely saving my marshmallows today, Simon, but what happens when we wait too long? Is there a danger of becoming frozen? How do we know when the waiting time is over and it's finally time to strike?
That's the fine line between a strategist and a coward. The art of the strike. Mia, there is a dangerous trap we need to talk about. Some people hear the phrase, "smart people wait," and they use it as an excuse to do absolutely nothing. They sit on their couch for 5 years, watching opportunities pass them by, and they say, "Oh, I'm not lazy. I'm just being strategic. I am waiting for the perfect moment." That is not patience, Mia. That is fear. That is cowardice dressed up as wisdom.
Oh, I know those people, Simon. They're waiting for the perfect weather before they go for a run, or the perfect economy before they start their business, or the perfect partner who has zero flaws. Guess what? The perfect moment does not exist. If you wait for absolute certainty, you will be waiting until you are 80 years old. There is a massive difference between a turtle that hides in its shell because it is scared and a tiger that sits perfectly still in the tall grass. The turtle never moves. The tiger is just waiting for the exact distance to jump.
That is a brilliant analogy, Mia. And that is why we use a concept called the coiled spring. Think about a metal spring. When you press down on it, it doesn't move. It stays low, quiet, and small. But it isn't dead. Inside that spring, energy is building up every single second. It is waiting for the release. When the right moment arrives, the spring explodes with massive force. That is how a smart person handles time.
I love that image. When a smart person is waiting, they're actually preparing. If they want to switch careers, they don't just sit around. They save money, they take online courses at night, and they study the market. They are coiling their spring. They are building up their resources, their knowledge, and their strength in total silence. They look quiet on the outside, but on the inside, they are packed with explosive potential. The moment the right door opens, they don't hesitate. They jump through it with 100% of their energy.
Exactly. Rushed people strike when they are weak, and fearful people never strike at all. But the strategist strikes when they are at maximum power. They use the waiting time to build their advantage so that when they finally say yes, victory is almost 100% guaranteed. They don't gamble, they execute. And for our amazing listeners, if you're ready to stop hiding like a turtle and start coiling your spring like a tiger, hit that like button and subscribe right now. We're here every single week to give you the tools to build your ultimate momentum. Drop a comment below. Are you currently waiting because you're preparing, or are you waiting because you're afraid? Be honest.
Join the squad. Let's keep each other accountable. And if you have a friend who is always talking about their big dream but never actually takes action because they are waiting for a perfect sign, hit that share button. Send this section to them and tell them, coil your spring because it's almost time to jump.
The coiled spring is about maximum readiness, but to keep that spring tight, you need a very specific type of mental focus. You need to know how to block out the noise of the world.
Oh, the noise is everywhere today.
How to ignore the FOMO. Mia, let's talk about the psychological disease of our generation. It is called FOMO, the fear of missing out. When you choose to wait, you have to watch other people take action. You look at your phone and you see your old classmates starting a random business, or your neighbor buying a new car, or people on the internet making quick money on a trendy stock. Your brain starts to scream, everyone is winning except me. I am being left behind. I need to do something now.
Oh, the pressure is real, Simon. It feels like you are standing still while the whole world is running past you in a race. It takes so much mental strength to sit quietly and say, no, I am not going to jump into that trend. I am going to stick to my plan. If you don't have a defense mechanism, the noise of the crowd will eventually break your discipline. You will break your patience, run after the crowd, and buy into the trend right at the very peak, just before it crashes.
Exactly. Rushing into a trend because of FOMO is like jumping onto a moving train without checking where it is going. You just see people laughing inside, so you jump. But smart people have a defense system called the quiet room. When the world gets too loud, they mentally step into a soundproof space. They remind themselves of a core truth. Just because everyone is running in one direction does not mean they know where they are going. Most of the time, the crowd is just panicking together.
I love that concept. Inside the quiet room, you turn off the external notifications and turn up your internal logic. You realize that true success is not a race against your neighbor. It is a race against time and your own potential. When you ignore the noise, you can actually see the flaws in the trends. You see that the fast money your friend made has massive hidden risks. By waiting in your quiet room, you let the chaos burn itself out. You protect your energy, your focus, and your money.
Yes, silence is a strategist's best friend. While the crowd is shouting and bleeding energy, the smart person is resting and thinking in the dark. And for our amazing listeners, if you are ready to build your own quiet room and protect your mind from modern anxiety, hit that like button and subscribe right now. We are here every single week to give you a sanctuary of deep, calm, and strategic thought. Tell us in the comments, what is one trend or hype you successfully ignored because you knew it was just noise?
Join the squad. Let's build a wall against the FOMO together. And if you have a friend who is always stressing out because they feel like they aren't achieving enough compared to people on social media, hit that share button. Send this section to them and tell them, step into the quiet room. You are doing just fine.
The quiet room allows you to maintain your position under pressure. But, Mia, after you have protected your mind, mastered your value, and waited for the right moment, you finally reached the ultimate destination of patience. The ultimate freedom. Mia, we have traveled through a beautiful psychological journey today. We have guarded our impulses, looked at the chessboard of life, built our scarcity premium, and trained our delayed gratification engine. Now we stand at the final gate. When you master the art of waiting, you unlock a state of existence that very few humans ever experience. You achieve what philosophers call the sovereign mind. This means you are no longer a slave to time, a slave to the crowd, or a slave to your own biology. You are the absolute ruler of your life.
Oh, Simon, it feels like total weightlessness. I remember when I used to be a reactionary person. If someone honked at me in traffic, I would get angry. If the economy dropped, I would panic. If someone offered me a quick deal, I would jump. My life was controlled by external strings, like a puppet. But when you learn to wait, those strings are cut. You realize that you don't have to react to everything. You have a choice. Between the stimulus and your reaction, there is a space, and in that space lies your absolute freedom and power.
That is the ultimate secret of the world's sharpest minds, Mia. They don't let the world push them around. A person with a sovereign mind cannot be rushed by a salesman, cannot be scared by the news headlines, or can be tempted by an instant, shallow reward. They look at the chaos of the world, and they simply smile and say, I will decide when I am ready. They own their time. And when you own your time, you own your destiny. You are no longer running a race against others. You are simply walking your own path at your own perfect pace.
It is the most peaceful way to live. And to our incredible listeners who have completed all 8 sections of this masterclass with us, thank you. You are the deep thinkers who give us hope for the future. If you are ready to claim your sovereign mind and take absolute control of your journey, hit that like button one last time and subscribe to our channel. We are here every single week to bring you tools that upgrade your intellect and protect your mental clarity. When you subscribe, you join a global circle of leaders, strategists, and calm thinkers.
Join the family. This is the end of this specific episode, but it is the true beginning of your strategic life. The next time the world tells you to hurry, the next time your phone screams for an instant reaction, remember this series. Take a deep breath, step into your quiet room, coil your spring, and wait. The future belongs to those who can sit perfectly still until the right moment arrives. We are incredibly proud of your growth today.
I am not a puppet anymore, Simon. I am the master of my own clock. And to everyone watching, you are the pilot of your mind. Do not let the instant culture steal your power. Share this entire series with someone who needs to slow down and find their strength. Let's change the world, one calm mind at a time.
Beautifully said, Mia. Thank you for this amazing deep dive, and thank you to everyone at home. Stay calm, stay sharp, and keep waiting for the perfect strike.
Thank you for listening to the Mia and Simon podcast. I'm Mia.
And I am Simon.
Why smart people wait. Think deep, live wise. Goodbye.